electric vehicle industry is one such that's actually not worried about demand, but about supply and raw materials to keep up with that demand. Let's get a clearer understanding of how things are on that front. For that, today on Small Cap Spotlight, I have with me Divya Chandra. He's the MD of Atul Greentech, a subsidiary of Atul Auto. The company manufactures last mile electric mobility components. Thank you, Divya, for joining us. And I think to begin with, as we always ask all of our managements, please could you tell us what are the core products that Atul Greentech manufactures? There is EVs, there's battery packs, there's charging solutions. If you could give us a complete picture of the entire EV infrastructure that you help provide and service.
Certainly. So I'll introduce you about Atul Greentech. Atul Greentech is a three-wheeler manufacturing company, particularly electric three-wheeler. The parent company is Atul Auto Limited, which have 3 decades of experience in manufacturing and selling electric regular three-wheelers, conventional three-wheelers in the country. So coming to Atul Greentech, the idea here is to focus more into the tech part of the EVs. As you know, technology is the core of everything. So is the case of electric vehicles. So today in Atul Greentech, we, along with vehicles, we manufacture our own battery packs, lithium-ion battery packs, battery management system, and telemetry. So these are all in-house products of Atul Greentech. Apart from this, the vehicles, which is already a principal business of the parent company, that in that the EV particular vehicles are routed through Atul Greentech.
You know, Divya, the EV industry is one that's kind of relatively new. I want to know what's your own experience in the industry, in your career path. What's it been like? Have you always been associated with the automobile space? How did it all begin for you that ended up with you being the MD now of Atul Greentech?
Yeah, sure. So my journey in this industry is, I would say, an automobile industry. I'm working from past 10 years. Previously, it was more into the IC engine side, where we were working on gasoline and CNG engines. Then from past almost 8 years, I'm into the electric vehicle segment. So I've worked with e-rickshaws, the development of L5 category three-wheelers. I've worked on powertrains. I've worked on battery packs. So yeah, it has been wonderful journey because the industry, particularly the EV, is at the evolution. So you get to learn, you get to see so many things, and as you know, globally, it has been a big movement where you can say the mass chunk of automobile are getting converted into electric vehicles. And when we talk about India, that too, three-wheeler has always been a natural adoption, starting with e-rickshaw, where they replaced the big part of pedal rickshaws in North India. Today, I think almost all are electric, and then now e-rickshaws have been the more developed version into L5. And with this, what we understand that India is the only place that offers such natural adoption for three-wheelers without incentives. It is growing at a tremendous pace, and we expect that the conversion will go very fast for electric vehicles in three-wheelers category. So personally, for me, it has been, with a big university. Every day is a new day. Every day you learn something, you explore something, and being in country like India, it is a land of opportunity. So a lot of opportunities for me every day to get into new things.
That's interesting. Divya, now, of course, in the EV industry, there are a lot of component manufacturers and players that have come in to enable the entire infrastructure. I'd like to understand from you that how do you differentiate your EV products and your infrastructure solutions from the other players in India's three-wheeler and last mile logistics industry and market?
Yeah, I mean, this is the most important question every company tries to answer, right? How different are you than the rest of the competition? So our thought processes, we always wanted to focus into the technology rather than the cost. Normally, three-wheeler is such a commodity or category where it is known as low-cost solution or low-cost mobility, because if you see, it is a indirect mode of transport, and it caters a big population in terms of employment. And what we know today, apart from big metros and tier one cities, rest of the India, there is the transportation is a big concern, and that gap is fulfilled by three-wheelers. So to differentiate ourselves from the rest of the competition, we always focus that how the product can be better in terms of range, in terms of power, in terms of overloading, and how we can bring down the total cost of ownership less, instead of just bringing the price of the vehicle less. So that's where we are working. Just to give you an example, battery is a core part of the electric vehicle. So first thing we have done, we have localized battery. So the battery pack is made by us. So this gives an edge because we know the product. In case of troubleshooting, we can have our people giving the solutions. We don't have to dependent on third-party vendors or suppliers to provide solutions on a critical aspect of the vehicle. So that is one. Second, we try to adopt the new age technology, whichever is coming. So we have one fixed battery solution. We are also working with swappable solution. In the future, we are working with different charging solutions, be it fast charging or moderate fast charging. So this is how we try to niche our products by bringing more and more new age technology and trying to be different rather than just focusing on the low cost solutions.
Could you tell us a bit about your own market share in the entire three-wheeler EV space and the components bit? What's the competition like over there?
See, we have been selling the e-rickshaws from almost now 8-10 years. So e-rickshaw is a different segment because it is not considered as a conventional vehicle, and there is a lot of competition, and it is a very huge market in numbers. But if we talk about L5, L5 is a new market. We started in 2023, but the market from 23 to 25 has been the explosion. You see the numbers, they are double-digit growth numbers, and the conversion is also happening from ICE vehicle to electric vehicle into double digits. So to answer the market share, we are less than 2% of that market, but what we see as a potential, because we just started in 2 years, we can see triple-digit growth in terms of percentage for Atul Greentech. And internationally, we just have seeded these vehicles. We are the first company having the EU certification. So products are globally qualified for international markets. So we are trying to cater more into developed economies as well as developing economies with these products.
How much of your technology that you use in EVs is developed domestically or in-house, and how much is something that you've outsourced?
In terms of value, if you see, major part that is vehicle and the battery pack, that is in-house for us today. The other parts like wire harness and powertrain, that is sourced from the suppliers. Now, talking about the localization, as the requirement of government is to incentives, you need to have principal components local. You can bring the child parts from other countries, but the final assembly, testing, all those things have to happen in India. So principally, we are completely indigenous. You talk about vehicle or powertrain or battery, everything is made in India here.
Okay, and speaking about partnership, of course, there is that news that has come about of your own partnership with Amara Raja for batteries. So if you could tell us a bit about that.
Certainly. We have tied up with Amara Raja for our new project. In that, Amara Raja will provide us the LFP packs, lithium iron phosphate packs, which will be manufactured by Amaraja, and we are going to use it for our three-wheelers. And along with this, they are also working on chargers. So Amaraja will help us in providing fast charging solutions for this battery packs. And later, what we know that there would be cell manufacturing that is going to happen by Amara Raja. So in future, the cells which are used will also be made in India cells, and that would be, one step towards the program of Atmanirbhar Bharat in our country. So it will bring more localization element in the overall product.
So if I have to break up the key constituents of Atul Greentech's revenue, there's EVs, there's so many other components. If you could tell us a bit about how much of your revenue comes from each of these business segments, or which is the biggest business for you?
See, as OEM, our primary revenue is the vehicle today. So a large part of revenue is by selling the vehicles. And as you know, the EVs are backed with very good warranty period. TCO is very less. The number of components are very less. If you consider all these factors, so at least for next, like first 3 years or first 5 years of the vehicle, the dominant revenue is towards, from the vehicle. It is not from the spare part. It is not like the ICE business where you have revenues from oil and from other spare parts which are required for periodic maintenance. So EV is a different ballgame put together when it comes to service and revenues. So it is predominantly more from vehicles, and with time there would be evolution that you may have revenue stream from data that you get and from the customers, from the users, and that could be the added stream. But at the moment, it is vehicles.
Are there any proprietary technologies or patents or something that may give you a bit of a competitive edge that you've developed, and the patents that are in your name?
There are patents, but it's not direct patents in our case, because these products are getting more familiar, and there is nothing like certain USPs when it comes to the component at the component level. So we have more USPs in terms of performance, but not in terms of patents, I would say.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, the EV industry has been around for some time now. How resilient is your supply chain? Let's talk about that now, because there are EV-specific components like controllers, lithium-ion cells, etc., that are not that easily available, and we have to get it from abroad as an Indian manufacturer. So talk to us a bit about your supply chain.
That's true. If you see, EV ecosystem in India is still at the development stage. Government is announcing PLI schemes. Companies are investing into PCB developments, semiconductors. So all things are coming. They are not readily available. You take cells, for example, lithium-ion cells. I think recently only the PLI approved companies have asked more time to execute their plans for manufacturing lithium-ion cells. So the important part of the supply chain, that is cells and semiconductors and some more precision components, are still, as a country, we are dependent outside. So I think maybe in couple of years, we'll have more options to source this critical parts which are made in India. But at the moment, we have a dependency on other countries.
Tell us a bit about your long-term plans when it comes to production capacity, production expansion, etc.
I think one good part here is with EV that it is at the verge of explosion. So the numbers what we see today, they are just the tip of the iceberg, because the conversion has not fully happened, and with especially the three-wheeler, the kind of TCO what we get is unbeatable. There is no four-wheeler or even other small vehicle which is closer in terms of TCO to three-wheeler. And we see many new applications coming up in India and outside India for electric three-wheelers. So if you talk about expansion, we think that in next 2 years, the entire industry will have roughly 50% of share into electric. That means your all ICE vehicle, that is CNG, diesel, that will go 50% and remaining 50% will be completely electric. And with improvement in the charging infrastructure, with fast charging availability, we foresee that this numbers, the market today is roughly around, close to 2 lakh vehicles. We expect that this would grow 3 times in next 4 to 5 years. So I would say sky is the limit. And being in India, where three-wheeler is the primitive segment for transportation, because last mile mobility is still a big challenge everywhere. So three-wheeler addresses both the points, last mile mobility and last mile delivery. So I think that we need to expand in leaps and folds for coming years.
In many ways, you're also doing a social good here, right? The more EVs that are out on the road, perhaps the lesser the emissions, especially in cities. Are there any sustainability metrics or something that you track, perhaps clean kilometers driven or any energy efficiency driven improvements? Because many investors also look at the ESG factor when it comes to investing.
Not directly. As you know, under PME drive scheme, they do calculate these numbers. But these numbers keep changing, because more the kilometers, more would be your savings in terms of all this reduction in pollutants and NOx, SOx, CO2, whatever they try to capture. But overall, what we know that this is purely the conversion in terms of fuel. When you say that if you sell more electric vehicles, you drive more electric vehicles, you would be saving more the other fuel, the conventional fuel of it.
So you're very optimistic about there being a demand explosion in India for electric vehicles. You've not seen any sort of hiccups or hesitation when it comes to adoption of EVs by Indians?
I would say the adoption, particularly in three-wheeler, is not a challenge. It's not like a car where you have to convince the user that there are benefits of using electric vehicles. So adoption is certainly not a challenge. The challenge would be the developed ecosystem, supply chain. That is the real challenge, because if tomorrow there is a change in policy in tariffs, or some difficult times with some countries, this can seriously impact the overall supply chain of EVs, and that could be the time where we will not have any indigenous domestic solutions readily available. And the other part is, I would say, the tech evolution, the kind of tech evolution we see in China or in Western part. That evolution is not seen in India. I'm saying more into the technology part, not into manufacturing. But if we put these two factors, one, the developed ecosystem of supply chain, and second is the innovation in the high technology parts, this too could be the real challenge for a country if something goes wrong with the government policy.
Do you think that there are any government policies or interventions that could perhaps help stabilize that entire EV ecosystem a bit more?
I think government has always tried to put this program into place. Under Made in India program, they introduce many policies. There are incentives under PLI schemes. There are demand aggregation incentives. So the government is always trying to promote local manufacturing. I think just recently, after Mr. Trump came into power, we see some changes happening at the tariff level. But before this, it was always a a pro-India policy where government wants everything to be made in India, since the market itself is very big, and the aim is to create jobs, to bring that skill, and to localize everything. So I think government will continue this kind of programs in near future. There could be some small changes, but that cannot be a permanent changes. It would be a temporary changes.
Okay, let's talk about your strategic vision for Atul Greentech, let's say over the next 5 to 7 years in the EV space. And also, I want to know, how does it complement Atul Auto's own roadmap?
Uh, the roadmap is very clear. What we know today, that the three-wheeler industry is adopting quickly the electric vehicles compared to ICE, because people are understanding the total cost of ownership is less, the maintenance is less. There is the tech is evolved so much that you can able to track the vehicle, you can see the performance, and this brings a lot of transparency in overall operations, which I think customer and the companies are appreciating. So uh, as a roadmap for both the companies, the parent company is very clear that they are getting into the mass manufacturing of vehicles. And as Greentech, we are very keen to adopt all the new age technologies which can bring difference, especially in the life of common man, where they can appreciate the difference of technology in real revenue. Right? There should be either increase in their revenues or decrease in their maintenance time, or the overall livelihood has to increase. That's what we aim for. And with this, of course, government is also happy, because I'll just give you an example. We have participated in certain programs called Pink Auto in Amritsar. So where these are pink autos made for women, where women can earn their livelihood. And since it is electric, it is very easy for women to learn and drive these vehicles. Again, these are electric vehicles, so there is no pollution. So government is also happy. We also participate into certain government programs for solid waste management, where door-to-door garbage collection that happens with our electric vehicles. So this brings a lot of pollution down. And then since they are electric, and then they are again charged with solar energy, so this brings even the benefits for government. Their cost goes down. So I think that's what we want to do. We want to bring real change in people's life with the technology.
Are there any new technologies or trends in the entire EV space that excite you the most, that you're looking forward to? If you could give us viewers and possible future EV drivers a glimpse into what transportation could look like for us in the future?
I would say the future of transportation is truly inspiring. If you just ask me, I mean, as a layman, I would say the message for the viewer is that your commuting cost is going to be negligible in coming years, and your acquisition cost is also going to be negligible. So it's a very interesting equation, where people have to understand that it is no more like you have to buy expensive vehicles, and you have to pay extra costs for riding those expensive vehicles. The future is you'll get best of the vehicles, and you will pay a small penny for it. It won't be like the old days. So your cost of commuting and cost of acquisition both are going to decline in coming years.
All right, Divya, this was a very interesting and insightful conversation into the entire electric vehicle world. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, viewers, for tuning in. This was SmallCap Spotlight. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more such insightful interviews.